absolutely beautiful astrology soulmates. It's me, Stormie Grace, and welcome to your weekly horoscope for the week of January 15th, where I tell you what, it's a busy week this week. We've got a lot going on, especially at the end of the week where we're going to see Pluto come back into the vibration of Aquarius. And even though it is not staying there all of 2024, and we're not getting the full 20 years out of it just yet, it is going to be impactful, and it is going to ask us to really look at what is keeping us sub and unconsciously from our own victories, from our own phoenixy moments and transformations. And for others of us, it is going to absolutely call you out of the shadows and into the public light, because now, even at a society level, your role and the need for your vibration and knowledge has literally changed. So the end of the week, I think, is got a lot energetically for us to be paying attention to. And you maybe aren't going to feel like, running around, living your best life. You might be like, I need to take it a little bit easy as we're getting through the end of the week. But I will say that I think the beginning of the week is really very useful for getting a lot done, not only because we've got Mercury moving forward officially out of its post-retrograde shadow time. So that is good news for all of us, honey, okay? So I've got all of those details coming up if you are looking for your astrology and what is going on in the cosmos to help guide you through this week. I've got that on the way. Before we jump in, I'm so excited to share with you finally my travel journey in how I got to Spain, how I became a digital nomad, how it all came together, and I'll be bringing you guys that information. But I've got my first blog post up to share with you in the description box down below. Come on over and check it out. As well, you guys, if you are someone who has done it, you've done the astrology classes, you've watched the classes on YouTube, you know your stuff, but you don't know how to put it all together. You lack the astrological fluency to string those planets, houses, signs, aspects, transits together into a cohesive interpretation and conversation, then I am talking to, looking at, and inviting you to come spend 6 weeks with me in my new Knowledge to Fluency program that I will be teaching absolutely live. So you're going to be hands-on. We're going to be right there together, moving through charts, increasing your astrological fluency, getting you speaking the language of astrology from class 1, speaking that chart into life, reading and writing that chart into life. So if that is you and you've been feeling like, listen, I've done all these courses and I still don't feel like I can string this together into an interpretation or into a consultation, this is going to be the 6 weeks for you. And we are going to also read personal charts in class, so you'll have time for real life feedback as well. More details about it and to join the course in the description box down below, and I will see you in March. All right, beautiful friends, let's get on in here. We have to talk about what's going on this week. Now, first of all, on Monday, as we're coming into the week, we've got the moon traveling through the beautiful vibration of Pisces. So there's a lot of intuition that is still in the air. And the moon is in a really nice conversation here with Neptune. And you can see this on the chart. But we see that it's not... This is the sun, is in a really nice conversation with Neptune. So this is a sextile. So this is a lovely energy as the sun and Neptune come together in any kind of conversation. One of the first things we see is that the sun is bringing this light, heat, life, and motivation. And Neptune is bringing this space of idealism. So there's this heightened energy in the sextile and connection with your intuition, with creativity, with just, you kind of know the next thing to do. The sextile aspect offers us not only a pocket of opportunity that's there and we can take advantage of it should we go to it, but we usually do. We usually intelligently take action. So I'm telling you, if there's something in you that, if there's someone in your life, a situation in your life, even if it's you, that it's like, it's needed forgiveness. It's needed your compassion, your charity. It's needed you to see something or someone from a creative third option that you weren't particularly considering it from before. This is the time to do it. Give that forgiveness, right? Be easy. Boost your own vibration by releasing and surrendering what no longer needs to travel with you. This is a phenomenal energy. Now, I also think that this is a really good energy this day because we are so much more sensitive to this energy. Because as you can see here on the chart as well, that not only do we have Chiron in conjunction, now it's in an applying conjunction with this North Node. And with the North Node, I always give 10-degree orb. It's the only planet I do that with. All of the rest of them, I'm an orb snob. You get 3 to 5, and then you have to move on. But with the nodes, I think it's really important because in lunar land, it can encompass a lot. So first of all, we've got this Chiron energy dancing here with this North Node energy in Aries, right? So this is also kind of setting the stage for the day in the energy that we're working with, where Chiron, that wounded healer, you're not seeing yourself through the lens of just the wound anymore. So you're not seeing your past, who you are today, who you feel like you're called to be, the ways that you didn't stand up for yourself before. You're not seeing yourself just through the wound anymore. There's been some healing, some time, some perspective. And in conjunction with this North Node on this day where your intuition is really high, where your caring and compassion is really high, this is a day that literally speaks to, I am moving forward towards what's next, and I'm doing it with a new identity. That particular Chiron and Node conjunction is also in this beautiful fire trine with Venus, who's over in Sagittarius. And this fire trine is what it is. It's a pocket of opportunity to what? To act like fire, to burn the flames, to let something be ignited in and through you. So you've got this new identity that's like, I'm not who I used to be, no matter what it was. I've been doing my work. I've been changing. And in a trine, an opportunity with my relationships, Sagittarius, Venus in Sagittarius, I have an opportunity to see my relationships, my money, my connections to my own aesthetic in a very different way with a new philosophy. It's this grander, bigger world perspective that becomes available. So this is a phenomenal day on Monday where I'm telling you, if you needed to have some relationship harmony come into your life, and it's not just going to come, remember, it's still Sun-Neptune sextile, so you have to intelligently take action on it. You've got to bring that compassion, that charity, that willingness to actually forgive, not forgive here, but forgive in the heart level to the table. And if you can do that, man, what a day to get a lot of progress going in this particular vibration. Now, I do want to point out as well that, like I said, Mercury is back in the vibration of Capricorn. And as of the 20th, it's going to start moving out of post-retrograde shadow time. But when we're beginning the week, what I want you to know is that because Mercury came back into Capricorn just a day before, what we have is things starting to move forward. Okay, all the way from November, things that were happening, they were got slowed down, November, December, but Mercury's not out of that shadow time yet, but on board, moving some things forward. So if there are conversations, if you need to schedule those appointments for the doctor, the tax man or woman, like whatever needs to happen in the realm of business, those things can start to move forward now. And you're also going to see yourself from a different perspective. And I think that that's really profound because sometimes we get to this point in the year, and I know many people who actually get freaked out about their taxes, and they're like, I didn't do a good job this year, or there's that fear, did I pay enough in, or whatever it is. And so there can be this space on Monday where it's like, whatever it is, just step forward, because that's how you're actually going to bring this beautiful solution into your life. So there it is. There it is. Now, later in the day, we're going to see the moon actually move into that vibration of Aries and carry us in through Tuesday. So as we're traveling Tuesday, we're starting to get that fire. We have the moon out of water where we're intuitive, we're feeling, we're deep into the feels of all of these things. And we've got the moon in Aries, and it's like, emotional fire. What do I need to do? How do I need to be on? What do I need to do to emotionally be well? What do I need to do in order to have my physical body be healthy, alive, fit, vibrant? But here's another great question about a moon in Aries, because it's the planet, it's the movement of I. What do I need to accomplish in order to fill in the blank? Where have I been being particularly selfish, and I've forgotten to also look at the we of things, right? Because we do have that North Node traveling in Aries. So it's like, yeah, I've got to do more me and not so much we, but there has to be the integrated balance. So on Tuesday, it's a great day. While the moon is here, it's hot and heavy energy. You're ready to go. I'm going to tell you, have something with delicious herbs and spices to eat. Bring a little cayenne into your diet if you can handle that. If you can't, basil's another really good herb to eat on this day. So you can also supplement in that way. But with this moon in Aries, something else that I think you've got the opportunity to be experiencing is this place of, okay, first of all, where am I manifesting my own misery? And I can stop doing that. I can stop making myself crazy. This is like phenomenal energy. Phenomenal energy. It's also a great energy emotionally to move, to be like, okay, I'm motivated. And Tuesday being a Mars day as well, I just feel like Tuesday is the day this week. You guys get it done, put things in motion, put things in action. Aries is a cardinal energy. So emotionally, you're like, listen, I'm on a fresh start. I'm on new footing. Let me go forward. So it's a great day to move your energy in that way. Now, we do see the moon in a square to Mars here, so you do want to be a little bit careful here not to be too impulsive if you can. But other than that, it's a pretty passionate energy. You're like, I desire this. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get it done. And as long as you are not harming yourself, harming others, threatening anybody, I think that it's a pretty good energy to be able to work with this week, okay? And remember, we've still got that Sun-Neptune sextile, so you've still got this energy, like really, I want to make my dreams come true, and I'm willing to go towards it at any cost. So I really like that kind of energy. Okay, on Wednesday, while we've got that moon continuing to travel through the vibration of Aries, we are also going to come to our first quarter moon at 27 degrees of Aries. So remember that the first quarter moon time is when we are about action, which Aries really likes that. I always relate the first quarter moon time to kind of like a Mars energy, a Martian energy. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to do it. I'm ready to be about it. But at the first quarter moon, some of the things to keep in mind is that the people, places, and things that do not match the vibration of what you requested in the new moon time are going to start to fall out. Your job is to be future forward minded. Your job is to let the things that the universe is moving and weeding out of your garden go, and you just walk forward. That's the role here at this particular time, because your job is building. You're being a builder. Trust your instincts, trust your intuition at this time, and build forward. So of course, you want to look at, first of all, where is 27 degrees of Aries in your chart? What house is that happening for you, so that you can get a little bit more nuance. But if you remember that all of these lunar energies happen in what we call moon families, right? So first of all, you want to go back to April 20th of 2023 and that particular new moon, which there happened to be an eclipse at that time at 29 Aries. So very, very close, very, very close, right? So at that time, what were the new moon intentions that you were setting at that time? You said, I want to do this. I want to be this. I want to regard myself like this. I want to take this project on. I want my body to look like this. What were you setting at that particular time? So go back to that particular moon time, because as we're traveling here now between the 17th and 18th of January, you're in your first quarter time, and it's time to build on what you planted those seeds of intention to bring into your life. What you said, I'm willing to commit to taking this forward. This is the time where you're doing that. Now we're going to check back in on this October 17th of 2024 when we get to the full moon that's happening at 24 degrees of Aries, because then all of the lights in the sky are on. So something has been illuminated. It will be time to end something, acknowledge something, or make an adjustment. And again, all coming from that new moon eclipse, new moon solar eclipse that we experienced in April. So what is it? Where are you going to need to pivot, or you need to just change directions, or you need to say, you know what? These things are going well. I can let go of those, and I'm ready to bring in these other things, right? And then we'll see the end of this lunar family July 18th of 2025. So when you think about what you're building, this is the reason why I like to look at these lunar families, is because, if we just think of it from new moon to full moon every month, that's very potent, it's very powerful, and I think we can see some short gain wins, right? But when we look at it in the longer game and we see how long sometimes it actually takes for humans to build something, to change something, to change a direction, to have enough courage, Aries, to actually move something into being in their life and then change directions with it, you can see that by the time we get to this July 18th, 2025, last quarter moon at 25 degrees of Aries, you will have worked for what you're ready to bring closure to, and you will get to celebrate it. Celebrate it at that time, because all of these are what astrology is beautiful at speaking to us, are the cycles of our lives that we are working in, the times when it's like, okay, I did work on this for a time. And it's the other thing where I think sometimes as human beings, we can be like, oh, nothing happened for me in this 30 days. So, what's the point? What's the purpose of life? What is it that I'm working on? Nothing looks different, right? But when you see it in the larger lunar families, it also is the change of what's going on internally for you, because the lunar world is about our emotions, our feelings, our internal world. And in an external way, the lunar energy is about the people of the world and our communities, and people change very, very slowly. So I think Wednesday, Thursday are pretty significant days. Now we're going to see on Thursday also that the moon gets moving over into the energy of Taurus. We can get some of this energy grounded down. And here we're going to look at what makes you feel rooted, get some of those creature comforts going around. You can do a quick check-in on those relationships and see how they are doing. That would be a wonderful thing. But I also think that when the moon is in Taurus, take care of yourself. Take care of your aesthetic. Remember that being beautiful, whatever that means to you, is valuable and important, and you don't need to prove, you don't need to explain that. So if you get here to the 18th and you're like, yeah, it's red lipstick day, or yeah, it's wear this whatever outfit day, do you and enjoy that beautiful Taurus vibration of this is how I'm celebrating my beauty. I also think with the moon in Taurus, because I've been focusing a lot on Uranus in Taurus and looking at how much it's releasing the energy from that sacred pelvic bowl, I do think that if you've got to make appointments in the GYN or the OBGYN space, if you've got to be looking at any of that, these are going to be great appointments to make sure you have them on the books and you are staying checked in on those things. Then we'll also see that Mercury-Saturn sextile coming together. And this is great. It's grounded, practical energy. Remember, Mercury's not fully out of that post-retrograde shadow time, but it's still very effective. You've got good judgment. You gathered the information from before. You've seen it. This is not new to you. Now you're putting all of the things together and you're like, okay, if I make this budget and I want to be able to achieve this, here's the discipline, Saturn, that I have to be about. Because Saturn in Pisces is like, you have to stop talking about it and be about it and demonstrate some faith. My spiritual teacher calls it, I have to trade my comforts for character building. And that's a big one when I think we bring Mercury and Saturn together, because it's like, well, I'm comfortable buying these foods because they're the ones that I like. I know how they feel in my body. They help soothe my emotions. But I'm also saying I want to lose weight. I want to gain weight. So I have to trade my comforts for character building, which means I want to buy the foods on the plan that say if I want to lose weight, I need to eat like this, or if I need to gain weight, I need to eat like this, even if it's not my most comfortable thing to do. There's a level of self-discipline that is beautiful in there. And again, I'm telling you, it's like tax time. So if you got to do your taxes, call the tax people, set up your appointment, go in, have the conversation. If you were supposed to finish an email, fill orders, make that appointment to talk to the kid's teacher, respond to whatever, get it done now, because that's absolutely, this energy is brilliantly useful for it, okay? Okay, that's like a lot. That's a lot just for Thursday. Okay, now when we get to the vibration of Friday, oh, I love this. Mercury is in this lovely trine to Jupiter. So we've got the small mind and the big mind in conversation with one another. So as Mercury and Jupiter come together for this conversation, first of all, it's a pretty optimistic pair when we are dealing with them. You know, Mercury's in Capricorn, Jupiter's in Taurus. So it's optimistic, it's practical. We're going to be organizing things in the material plane because we're dealing with earth signs. I need to make plans. Maybe I have to book those plane tickets. Maybe I have to do the budget. Maybe I have to, whatever it is that it has to be planning and organized in the material plane. Anything having to do around businesses, business dealings, business partnerships. This is going to be a wonderful energy to help you get all of that done. Now, later in the day, we see Venus come into this square with Neptune. Okay, as Venus, I call Venus and Neptune the Bopsy twins because they can both be a really blissful energy, but when you have bliss squaring bliss, some things can get a bit challenging. So first of all, as these two square against each other, one of the things is I feel like the energy can get low. Like you can kind of feel a drop in your vibration. And we've just had this Mercury Saturn, we've just had Mercury Jupiter. So maybe you're out there being a big kid, you're handling all your things, making your decisions. And then as we get to this Venus Neptune square, you're kind of like, whoa, and taking it all on. And the energy it's not that it's gone wrong, it's that it's gone real. Do you know what I mean? And you can kind of feel like, whoa, and it can feel like insecurity or like disappointment or like, oh my gosh, this is like a lot. It can be a lot. But the bigger thing that I think about with this Venus-Neptune energy is how much compassion you may be looking for, or even someone in front of you is looking for, because they've just swallowed a big truth of information about themselves. And it may just be like, whoa, like that was a lot. And there is nothing better to drop the energy back to reality than having kind of this overly idealized vision of ourselves, how I was doing financially for the year, of my relationship, how I think things are going, of my, my budget, my health. And then you go meet with the doctor or you go meet with the CPA and they're like, listen, we've got some things to work on. It's not the end of the world, but we need to make some adjustments. And that is like, whoo, can kind of take some wind out of the sails. So here, I just want to tell you, first of all, be easy if the energy is low. If you feel a little bit disappointed, if you feel like, your wind has been sucked out of your sails for a minute, just let yourself be easy. Apply that compassion that you have with yourself and with others. And I would honestly tell you, I don't think that this afternoon is the best afternoon to be making any deals, signing any contracts, anything like that, because any kind of altering decision, you're kind of unclear for a little bit with this energy. Now, whatever does happen here, we're going to see it again in June and in November. So if you had to make a decision, if they said you got to pay this, do this, get these test results, we'll see it again, and there's a bit of a correction that comes with it in June. So I also don't think you have to worry. I'm just telling you, I think if you can take a break Friday afternoon, be with whatever comes your way, paint, turn on that music, cry, dance, write poetry, whatever it is you got to do to like bring the energy down, that might be really, really beautiful. Okay, the 20th, 21st, as we're rolling into this weekend. Now, depending on where you are, I'm in Europe, so I'm going to be having some experience of these energies on the 20th. You may be having them on the 21st. You may be having them on the 20th, okay? First of all, we have got Pluto and the Sun coming together at 29 degrees of Capricorn. Okay, so this is a super potent vibration, okay? As they're traveling together with this particular energy, one of the things we want to take note of, first of all, is that it's the 20th, so Mercury is fully out of its post-retrograde shadow time, which I think is a big deal because Mercury is on and bringing new information to the table quite quickly. Okay, he's not looking at the past anymore. He's like, all right, let's make these decisions going forward. So as the Sun and Pluto come together at this 29th degree of Capricorn, it's like, all right, here's this last view of these structures in your life and where and why they have needed changes. Where and why your society has called you to change, to step into a VIP energy, has burnt down expectations that you've had from society, has brought out resentments that you have with your society because Pluto is an outer planet. It is really calling your attention as well to a collective consciousness that existed from 2008 until now, which was much more about business and money and structures and power and these kinds of things. So as these two come together in their last little dance for a minute, it can be an intense energy. It can absolutely be an intense energy, but it's not something that I want you to be afraid of. Okay, it's something that I want you to go, yeah, when I look at how powerful and intense that energy is, what I'm also reminded of is my power and my available to have influence in my life, at home, in my four walls, in my circumstance, and my mental health, and my health, in my money, with my children, with my family, and my community, because so much of the insight that has become available is that yes, the world has been changing, but I think for every single one of us, something deep within has been awakened, and we know that we are called or needed in some way. Now, other ways that this can absolutely be continuing to express itself, and you may see it, is in massive amounts of paranoia, which is an interesting thing because we're going to see two things happen, right? Is first of all, we've got the sun and Pluto, they're dancing together in that last little moment. The moon moves into Gemini. So now the people around us, our insides start talking, start networking. There's a going, there's communication happening left and right and left and right and left and right. People wanting to learn things, people wanting to share things, people gossiping. It all comes with the moon in Gemini kind of energy, but you need to know it's very, very busy. And then right behind that, we see the sun move out of that conjunction, exact conjunction, into Aquarius. So happy birthday, my beautiful Aquarian friends. I hope you have a gorgeous annual year. I love you. Do your solar return charts. It's all going to be good, okay? So happy birthday to you guys. But the sun moves into Aquarius. So now we're looking at a vibration, first of all, in our own personal beings where we're like, yeah, I want to have a little independence here. I want to innovate. I want to break out just a little bit. I want to see what else is out there. I want to do things a little bit differently. Like, poo-poo on that old routine. I'm not excited about that anymore. I want to try something fresh. And I love that for you. I want to be with friends. I want to be a part of social groupings, which the internet is, the girls are going to be on the internet as we go through this next couple weeks. You guys, I'm telling you, the networking, the conversations about what's going on in the world are about to speed up massively. And then later in the day, we have Pluto officially come into the vibration of Aquarius, boom, together there with the sun again. Now, first of all, Pluto moving into that vibration of Aquarius by itself, we have to pattern track backwards. This is where being able to pattern track with astrology is absolutely phenomenal. So go back into your own life. March 23rd of 2023, if I can even get that out of my mouth, all the way until May 1st of 2023. What was happening in your life? First of all, what house was Pluto lighting up for you and bringing new information? In my description box down below, I have got a little breakdown for Pluto and Aquarius through each of your houses, not by sign. So you need to look at what house this was happening in for you. But between March and May, what became conscious to you? What was dying off and something else was changing? What was changing in the society and community views around you that was also driving change for you, driving you into a new place of power, bringing up fears around society, bringing up hopes and where you're willing to step into a new role in society, right? Because this is a transformative energy. It has really been saying we're in a whole new game. We're going to have Pluto here until 2044 once it finally makes its stay. But the place to start is between March of 2023 and May of 2023, and what house was lighting up for you astrologically, and what what was being shown to you at that particular time. Now, by the time we got to June of 2023, we saw Pluto back into the vibration of Capricorn in that retrograde energy. Then it came direct in Capricorn in October of 2023. Okay, so we've had this dance. You've seen all the Capricorn things, but more was falling away from you. The surprise was probably a bit more in the Aquarian vibration, particularly of if my structures are falling away or changing in my society and I'm being demanded to step into something new, how do I do that? What does that look like? Do I know how to bring my business online? Do I know how to parent children who are going to school online? Does this expand my opportunities to get my education because society is changing, right? Now, as we are here between the 20th and 21st, depending on where you live, and we see Pluto re-enter into the vibration of Aquarius, it's only going to be here until September. Then it will pop back into Capricorn, and then it will enter for the official stay in November of 2024 all the way to 2044, and it'll also take a dip into Pisces. So, but we're not going there in this particular video. So what you want to know is that Saturday is powerful, but I always want you to remember that you've been here before. You've seen something of this. Slow down, grab that pen and paper, have a reflection, have a meditation, have a walk and think about it. What came up for you, even if what came up for you was a pain point, because Pluto is phenomenal for pointing out a pain point. It's telling you, you have to die off right here and change into something different. And maybe you don't even know what that different is, but it does require change. This is where I think that it has been brilliant to have this conversation with Jupiter and Uranus, right? Uranus is in Taurus, Jupiter is in Taurus, Uranus being one of the ruling planets of Aquarius. It's like new teachers, innovate. You need brand new teachers. You need to come out and be a brand new teacher in the world coming forward. You do have something valuable and resourceful to offer. So this weekend is going to be a pretty big deal. And you know what? Don't go to your house and like hide under a rock. We're not looking for any of that kind of behavior or anything like that, but I just do want you to know that energetically it could be a time that is relatively potent and can be used for a lot of reflection. The other thing I am excited about in this energy is that while, you know, maybe Saturday and Sunday you're not like wanting to run forward and change the entire world, you could even find yourself infuriated about certain things that are going on in the world, feeling your pain point. But for some of you, it may be that you're like, I get it. I had already been working on this business. I had already been working on this community idea. And now I see a little bit clearer vision of how I can make that happen, or who I can, Pluto and Aquarius, collaborate with, or the app or the connection that can help to get it done going forward into next week. All right, my absolutely beautiful friends, I hope you have a gorgeous week. Please check out in the description box down below, quick little breakdown plus some guiding questions for Pluto and Aquarius through each of your houses. If you're not sure how to find where a planet or a transit is happening in your house, I've also got a video in that description box down below that will show you exactly how to find the active transit in your chart. And this is the best way to really make use of where are these transits happening in your chart. It's not actually always as useful to just do it by sign unless you use whole or equal sign housing. So this actually makes it a little bit more accurate for you. All right, beautiful friends, I love you, and I'll see you next week. Bye, everyone.